back in the same position telling y'all the story time part 2. If you're here, then clearly you watched my being pregnant at 13 video where I just talked about the things that I went through while I was pregnant. Today we're going to be talking about me becoming a parent and just the things that I went through after I had my daughter. I suck at telling stories kinda, so if it's very choppy then it's probably because I say all the time. If you're new here, thank you for tuning in to my video. I hope you enjoy. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button please and the like, and if you are back, welcome back Keilani gang. Thank you for always supporting me. Now let's get into the video. So the time frame of when I became a parent, my daughter was born February 1st 2014. So I always say you don't really become a parent until you have the baby, because it's just a different ball game. So when Tiana was first born, I was in school at the time, online school. So I had been doing a lot of work prior to when I was about to have her so that I could kind of be ahead when I had her, so I didn't have to really focus on school. So I was only in the hospital for about 3 days, and then I came home and you know I had a little baby. Just me thinking about when she was here, I remember her just crying a lot throughout the night, and my grandma and my aunt being like, you know, Lonnie, let me help you. And I would just be like, no, I haven't. I didn't want to feel less of a parent, but I was very thankful that I had them there for that help. It would be times where they would be able to tell that I'm so tired, and they would have to step in and literally just take Tiana from me. In the beginning, Tiana's dad was just coming over to stay the night. He didn't live with us, but he eventually ended up moving in. It kind of just started with him spending the night, and then it turned into him eventually moving in. Once I started high school, it was like a really big help. He did watch Tiana while I was in school. So when I started going back to public school, Tiana was about 6 months. With him living there, it kind of felt like we was like married in a sense. I don't know how to explain it. Like we was basically living like a married couple. My grandma was totally against it, but she always did whatever to make me happy. And at the time, that was something that made me happy. And I always think about it like I wish that they would have just stepped forward and like took that further initiative to not let him move in with us, so that I probably could have seen things sooner for how it was, if that makes sense. And I remember I didn't have any friends. It was just like us, and I would go to school and I would come home, and then I would do the mom thing, I would do the wifey thing, I guess you could say, girlfriend thing, because I wasn't a wife, so the girlfriend thing. I didn't really know like who I was at the time. I was struggling finding the balance between being a teenager and being a mom. And so if you know me from back then, you know that I love like gymnastics, I love cheering. Like before I got pregnant, I cheered in middle school. So I sat out my 8th grade year because I was pregnant, and I did homeschool, and then when I went to high school I wanted to cheer again, but I kind of talked myself out of it because I felt like you're a mom, you shouldn't care about cheering. So it was very hard trying to distinguish being a mom, being a teenager. I didn't have the aspect of, oh, I still wanted to be a teenager. I remember my parents being like, you know, we want you to get out. Like you sit in the house and you act like a married woman. You don't go anywhere, you don't do anything. Get out and do stuff. 2016, me and Tiana's dad broke up, and then he moved out. Then I would say that's when I kind of started branching out, and then I started having friends, and then I started to try dating, which was very horrible at the time. And I was kind of finding that path in who I was, because in high school, that's when you start to find out, like, kind of, you know, who you are. And it's probably gonna change. It's definitely gonna change, because I'm not who I was in high school. Do y'all get what I'm saying? I hope y'all get what I'm saying. I hate that sometimes I can't talk and I can't word it right. So I kind of started figuring out who I was as a person, who Keilani was, enjoying doing teenager things and just living life. Still balancing it as a mom, but still like enjoying like my high school years. So y'all know my high school year was cut short because I graduated early. So I didn't start really living until like 2016, but I graduated in 2017. I ended up going through like a little depression because there were some things that occurred in high school that just really took a big toll on me. People can be very cruel. People can be very mean. And that's another thing, y'all, for me. Like, I learned that people that my age, like, they don't think about the things that I was thinking about then. So that was a very big thing. Like, dating was a very big negative for me going through high school, because I have a kid, so it's hard to date. They're not thinking about being in a committed relationship at that age, and that's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that at all, but it's just very hard as a teen mother who kind of knows or thinks she knows what she wants, and then you have someone, your dating pool is like people who don't know what they want, if that makes sense. So that was a very big thing that I wish that I knew the things that I know now. I wouldn't have even wasted my time then at all. I got my heart broke a lot trying to love in high school. Have fun. And then it's hard to say just have fun when you're a mom, but you just want to date. Like, it's nothing wrong with just dating. You just don't let everyone meet your kid. No one should even get that advantage of meeting your kid unless you know they're very serious about you. Once I finished high school with Tiana, which was one of my most proud moments in life. I'm gonna insert a picture here from graduation. It was like the best day of my life. Everyone always told me that I would never graduate. I wasn't gonna finish high school. I was gonna have another baby by high school, especially because her dad was living here in the beginning. They always said that I would get pregnant again. I wasn't gonna be anything. Once I finished high school, that's like the proudest I've ever been in my life, next to when I had my baby. I finished high school and I had this plan to go off to school at Georgia State. Y'all know I've always talked about living in Georgia. I've always wanted to go to Georgia, but my grandma wanted me to stay here. So I didn't go off to school. I ended up staying here and starting college here, and then that's when I kind of, I don't know, I wouldn't even say find myself, because I feel like I've just now started really finding out who Keilani is. So then I started college, and then that's when I started realizing that college really wasn't for me. I was kind of like at a loss for what I wanted to do with my life, which you don't want to feel like that when you have a kid. You want to already be established, already know what you're gonna do, already have your career. There are a lot of things that I really beat myself up about being a young mom, but it's all about trial and error. It's about when you make mistakes, you have to be able to acknowledge those mistakes and do better. Acknowledge those mistakes and try to change it. Try to break the generational curses. Don't carry over bad patterns. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still learning. I can say that that's one thing that I always say, is that me and Tiana grow. We are growing up together. Like, literally. She's growing and learning, and I'm growing and learning. And it's a good thing, and it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing because you already want to know things and have patience. And, you know, when you have a kid, those are things that you want to already, you know, you want to know things, you want to have patience, you want to be established. You don't want to be still trying to figure out yourself for real and when you're having a kid. But I can say that us growing together, I feel like it's going to make us super duper close, because I'm not that much older than her. I understand things. I am like different. This generation, I feel like, is different than our parents' generation. Like, we actually care. Some of us, not speaking for all, but some of us actually care to break those mean patterns of parenting, those messed up ways of parenting that we were brought up on. So hopefully this next generation, you know, our kids will be raised in a healed, this generation will be raised by healed parents. That's what I'm trying to say. Tiana has a healing parent. I'm still in the healing process, but she has a parent who is definitely healing. And I definitely talk to my kid, like, I can't even count on my hands how many times my mom has ever apologized to me from yelling at me. Like, she's just yelled and never apologized. Basically, long story short, this was a very short video. You just got to just thug it out, baby. Thug it out. pray and cry when you need to, and get some therapy and all that good stuff. So that's kind of like how life was for me when I became a parent. Like, it kind of all just rumbles together. Like, I can't believe Tiana's already 8. I cannot believe that. That just blows my mind. Like, we're both getting so much older. Like, even back then, like, she was a baby, I was such a young, like, I look like a little girl. I like a little girl with a baby. So it's crazy to see how far we've got in life. But that's kind of it for my story on me becoming a parent at 13. But I did ask you guys about some questions on Instagram, so I'm going to read those questions and answer them. Question number 1, do you plan to have more children? If so, when? I do want more kids in future after I'm established more and, you know, just set in my career. Yes, I do want more kids. I better have a ring on my finger, but yeah, no time frame for that, but I don't see it in the next year or so. Tiana is actually gonna be a big sister, so I'm gonna call her in here really quick to see, so y'all can see her reaction. Tiana, she already knows, but just so she can tell y'all how she feels about that. Tell them.
Tell them what?
Tell them what you're gonna be.
I'm gonna be a big sister.
Yes, you are. Not for me, from her dad. She's gonna be a big sister soon, so she's really excited about that. Are you excited?
Yeah.
And what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna
Talk.
take care of it.
Talk.
I'm gonna take care of it.
And what else?
I'm gonna.
You're gonna be a really good big sister?
Yeah.
So yeah, she's gonna be a big sister and she's super duper 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 excited about that. And I'm honestly glad that she gets to enjoy and experience having a sibling, because I knew that I wasn't having another one no time soon, because I'm not ready. I look a mess. And I'm filming. I'm editing. I'm such a habit to say I'm filming. But I'm editing my video and I'm answering questions for you guys. And I told you guys that Tiana will be a big sister soon. And I don't want you guys to think that I clickbaited you guys in any kind of way. She is going to be a big sister, as we just explained. I just want y'all to know that whenever I decide to do that and have another kid, it will be a very big thing. I will not clickbait you guys, so I don't want y'all to feel like I clickbaited y'all. So I just wanted to insert this in here to tell y'all that. Okay, I love y'all. I hope y'all not mad, because I really think y'all are really gonna think that it's me. How did you manage to finish high school? I had support, so I had my grandmother, I had, you know, and then also, like, even though Tiana did stay home like the first year, and I think that second year I ended up putting her in daycare just so she could experience being around other kids and then learn stuff, because she was super duper smart and I feel like she needed to be in a classroom where they learned. In school, they actually had this program for like teen mothers. We got together with the other teen moms in the school. We met, we talked about things. I want to say they offered counseling. It was just like to help you with certain things if you were struggling with things. And they actually paid for daycare. So when Tiana started going to daycare, they paid for it, which is super duper nice. And then, you know, it just takes a lot of discipline. Like, I missed a lot of school. I remember people used to always tell me, oh, you're not graduating, but I made it my mission to graduate. And I remember the counselor telling me, like, you're not gonna be able to graduate early. I wasn't gonna be able to graduate early, but I could still graduate on time, but not early. And that was super important to me. I had to graduate early because it was just something in my heart that I needed to do. Not only did I need to finish school, but I needed to finish a year early because y'all folks is trying me. And who is y'all trying? Period. You just have to really want it bad enough. If you want it bad enough, you could do it. Was I scared having a kid? Yes, I was scared. How did you take care of her financially at that age? So luckily, I was very blessed to have my grandmother, and my grandmother did everything financially. She didn't want me to work, and I couldn't work. Basically when I had Tiana that year, I was turning 14, so I was looking into like child labor laws, and I was looking into if I was to get emancipated that I could get a job. Even though most places wouldn't really hire you until you was like 15, but she wasn't going for that. She was like, no, you need to finish school, you need to focus on school, you're not gonna work and all that stuff. Even when I turned 16, I got my first job, and my grandma did not want me to get that job at all. She did not want me to get it. She was like, you don't need to, you need to focus on school, you don't have to get the job. But I was like, I need to get the job. Like, I feel like less of a woman, less of a mom with you doing everything. Like, I need my own money to do things. So I got my first job at McDonald's, and I cried. I hated it. I hated it. I woke up every morning and I cried. Every single morning when I went to work, from 6 to 2. How old was your daughter's father at the time? I was 13 when I got pregnant, and he was 16. So when I had her, I was 14 and he was 17. What did your parents say / do when you got pregnant? They were very mad when I got pregnant. They actually wanted me to have an abortion, but I ended up going against that, and they ended up being in love with Tiana. What is it like being a parent now? Do you feel you're able to enjoy your 20s? What it's like being a parent for me now, I feel like it's kind of easy. Like, Tiana's older, so she's not a little baby that requires so much attention. Like, you know, you have to watch them at all times. Like, she kind of does her own thing, and it's more so about me just instilling life practices into her now, if that makes sense. It's great. It's great being a parent. I have a big kid. Like, my friends have little babies, so I be like, can't relate, boo. Can't relate. Tiana be chilling. I be chilling. We be chilling. It's all good. We go eat crab legs. We have crab leg dates. Like, it's fun. It's fun. I do miss her being a baby, but it's fun. Do I feel like I'm able to enjoy my 20s? Yes, but no. I can't do every single thing that a 21-year-old with no kids can do, but I can do a lot. I find a very good balance between being a fun girl and then being a mom. Like, I'm not just gonna stop living my life just because I'm a mom, but you have to watch what things you do, because I have this little person looking up to me, so I want to do things. You just have to find your balance, whatever works for you. What works for me may not work for anybody else. If you go to someone, they may say, oh, she's a party girl, all we see you do is party, blah, blah, blah. But baby, I take care of what I need to take care of, and I find a great balance between having my fun and being a mom. Period. Being a mom comes first, but after, I'm gonna go have fun. Period. What kept you going while going through hard times? Tiana kept me going through hard times. Like, just looking at your child and knowing that you have someone depending on you, you cannot fail. You cannot give up. So even if you do fail, you have to get back up and try again, because what are you gonna teach them? Like, to give up? You have to teach them that you can't give up. Like, when we fail, we're gonna keep doing it until we get it right. Praying. God got me through hard times, but most importantly, my daughter and God. When I look at her, I know I have to do the right thing, because who else is gonna raise you right? Who else is going to teach you the things that I need to instill in you and teach you for you to get ready for life? I don't feel like nobody can raise my child how I'm gonna raise her, because nobody's gonna love your child how you love your child. Your child that came out of you, nobody's gonna love them like that. Did you ever feel like giving up, or did it become overwhelming? I definitely had times where I felt overwhelmed, being so young and being a mom, but you can't give up. You can't give up. Even if you want to give up, you can't give up, because you have someone depending on you. So you can't give up. Like, you have to find a way to cope through it, deal with it, because that's just selfish. Like, they didn't ask to be here, so you have to figure it out. Did this experience make you not want to have any more kids? No, it did not. I still want more kids. I still wanted more kids. Like, then I just knew that I didn't want them at that time. Like, I mean, I never thought about having more kids like right after she was born, but I knew that I want more. Like, I want more. I love being a mom. I really love being a mom. So yes, I want more kids. Does Tiana have a relationship with her dad? Does she see him often? Yes and yes. And that was the last question. So I hope you guys kind of get and understand me and the things that I went through that made me who I am today. Thanks for tuning in to this video, guys. This is like the last video that I'm ever going to do talking about me having a baby so young. I got everything out that I needed to say. I've been wanting to film these videos for years, but I haven't done them. And I hope that can help a young mother who's going through what I went through. And if you are young and you think you want love and you think you want a baby, please think again, because don't do it. But that's gonna be it for this video. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in always, and bye.
Hello stranger, it's been a minute since we last kicked it. And by the way, just got in town, and I won't let you in this cloud. All in the sky.